Hey, welcome again. In this video we'll talk about how we can create a world like this one. You can see right here we'll be using free assets from fub.com, and I'll show you how you can add those assets to your project and create a world like this one. It's very simple because these are modular assets. You can see it right here. If I select this, these are modular assets and you can select them one by one, and I'll show you how you can create a world like this one, a beautiful world, sci-fi world, from using these modular assets. It will be not only about these assets. Now I'll show you how you can create world from any modular assets. You can go to epicgames.com or to fub.com and find a lot of modular assets, and modular assets are designed to create any kind of world. Like, they give you the raw materials, the raw tools, the raw assets, and using those raw assets you can create any kind of world you want. You can create any structure you want. So this is the world you can see right here. That's kind of beautiful. You can see the assets right here are completely free and they're modular. So it means like you can create any structure from these assets as you want. And this lecture will help you how you can do that. So let's go to the video and talk about how we can create a beautiful world like this one. Now let's start from Unreal Engine 5.5. So I'll click on launch to open Unreal Engine 5.5. Then I'll come here and select games. We'll create a new blank project that would be based on the blueprints, and you can select any place you want. And then I'll come here and give it a name, something like Sci-Fi world. And now let's create the project. So after creating the project, now we have Unreal Engine, and that is great, but we don't have anything in here. If I come here to content drawer, you can see we don't have anything. The contents folder is empty. That means we don't have anything. So we need some contents. For that we need to come back to Epic Games Launcher, or a better way would be to come to fub.com, and in fub you need to search for this lower sector building kit, and in here you can find these assets, which is looking great. Look at these assets are just great. You can just download them, and first you have to add it to library. Here you'll have something called add to library, and these assets are free. So after adding them to library, then you can come back to Epic Games Launcher, and here down here in fub library you need to search for this. That's called like lower sector building kit. And when you search this, if you cannot find it, first you need to refresh the fub library because we have added that recently, and after refreshing you will have it. Now you need to add it to the project. As you can see here, I searched for my sci-fi world, but we cannot find it. That's a problem because these assets are not yet available for Unreal Engine 5.5. so that's why we will come here and tell them to show all projects. Now you can see sci-fi world is available. You can select it, and it says, well, these assets are not compatible with Unreal Engine 5.5. But I'll tell him, okay, that's fine. We will select Unreal Engine 5.4, and then we'll tell him to add it to project. Now it will take a little time for you. It will take a little more because you need to download them first, and you don't need to worry about them because they would be downloaded automatically and added to the project. After adding them to the project, you can see we have them. We can import them like this. And there we go. If I come right here, now you can see we have this lower sector mod, something like that, and in here we have all the assets. So the important one is we need to come here to the models, and in models you can find them all. You can see they're still importing, but that's all right. You need to wait a little bit. And then well, if I come here and tell them to filter, if you don't see these filters in here, you can come right here and select any filters from here. Now you can see I already have these filters in here. I'll tell them to filter static meshes. If I filter static meshes, now you can see we have a lot of static meshes. Look at them. And if I come to skeletal meshes as well, we have some skeletal meshes as well, and there are a lot of assets. These are actually modular assets, and modular assets means that you can build any kind of world you want. Like, they are modular, so you can create a really beautiful world from them. That's kind of great. But you can see we have this open world in Unreal Engine, and we're not using this open world. We just want to create a new one, and creating a new level is pretty simple in Unreal Engine. If I come right here to file and tell them to new level like this, we'll select empty level, like completely empty, and then I'll tell him to create. Now we created an empty level. We don't have anything in here, no lighting, nothing. But this map is not saved. It's called untitled, means it's not saved. I'll tell him, okay, we want to save it in contents. I'll create a new folder. I'll call it maps like this. And now let's call this Sci-Fi like that. And there we go. Now you can see we have our world, and that's saved in a folder, but we don't have lighting or something like that. That's important. We have our lighting, and it's very simple in Unreal Engine 5. If you come here to window, and here we have this environment light mixer. If I select this one, you can see we have skylight, we have directional light, and we have atmosphere, and we have volumetric cloud, which is great. And finally we have fog in here as well. So what is directional light? Directional light is like sun in the real world. So we'll create that first, but you can see we don't have anything, like nothing changed. But for that we need atmosphere as well. Like in real world we have sun in the sky, and we need atmosphere as well. So if I create atmosphere, look at this, now we have both of them, and that is looking great. So this is made for earth, so that's why this is looking like earth. And then I'll tell him, okay, now we need to create volumetric clouds. Now you can see we have clouds as well, just by one click. And also we need some fog. I'll add fog as well. Look at this, now we have fog. And finally I'll tell him to create skylight, but I'll not create skylight yet, so that I'll show you why skylight is so important. And if you want to change the color of the sky like this, like you want some sci-fi world like Mars or something like that, you can just simply come here and change the color. Now you can see it looks like we are in Mars or something like that. If you want some other kind of world, you can simply come here and change the color, and you will have completely different atmosphere. But I'll leave it like earth because we want to create earth. But as this is sci-fi world, you can select any color you want. Now I'll close this one, and you can see we have this world, but we don't have anything else yet. This is the center of our world. You can see right here, like the 0, 0, 0 coordinates. If I bring these things a little down so that we can see the center of the world, here it is. And now let's add those modular containers to the world. It's very simple. You can come here and let's search for something. If we have something like floor, but we don't see something like floor, so we don't have any floor mesh in here, but that's fine. We can create our own mesh. If I come right here and tell him to place actors panel, now you can see we have actor panels in here. And if I come down here, we have geometry, and now we can add box or something like that. So I'll add the box for floor. Now I can close this actors panel. And then if I come down here to the details, you can see we can change this. I'll change the Z to something like 20. We don't want this to be really huge and Z. And then I'll bring this a little up. Like you can see it's minus 500. I'll make this 0. So now you can see it is in the center. But as in Z, it is 20. That's why I'll bring this minus 20. So that will fit the world like the Unreal Engine ground like that. And now we need a really huge world. I'll change it to something like maybe 10,000 by 10,000 like this. That way it would be a big world. So now you can see we have this, but we need a human reference so that we can understand how large this is. For that I want to use this character called a survival character. It's also free. First you need to add it to the library, then you can just select that, and then you can come to Epic Games and search for that survival character. If you still cannot see that, you can refresh this and you will see. Now you can add it to the project. Same thing again, it's not available for Unreal Engine 5.5. I'll tell them show all projects, and then we can select it. I'll select Unreal Engine 4 from here. I mean Unreal Engine 5.4, and then I'll tell them to add it to the project. Again, for you it will take a little more time because it needs to be downloaded. So now you can see it's added to the project. I can come back to project, and now let's check if we have the character in there. If I come here to the content drawer, you can see we have this survivor character in here, and I can add it to the project like this. For now we will not talk and work on this animation and things, but just in a moment we will talk about how we can set up a character in here. So now you can see we have this character in the world, and that looks great, but you can see our world is really small. We want to change this, so I'll change this back to a little bit. So now you can see we have this brush sitting in here. I'll change this to something like this is 1000. I thought it's 10,000, but I'll change it to 100,000 like that, because we need a really huge world. Now you can look at this. We have a really huge, no, not that huge, I think. Let's change it to something like maybe 50,000 is a good value. 50,000 by 50,000. So that looks good to me. Now I think that's good. Still, it's a really huge value. I think we made it 5,000. I'll change this. Like now you can see it is much better, and this is our human reference in here. You can see this is a lot better. And if I come here, I'll add a bookmark in here. If you don't know how to add a bookmark, you can come right here, and you can see we have bookmarks in here. You can set bookmark like this, or the shortcut for that is like Control +0 +1 +2 like that. But I'll add a bookmark of 1 in here. Now you can see bookmark is added and the character is in there. Now I told you we will add skylight in the future. Now you can see the shadows, they're really black and not looking good. That's because of skylight. So that's the problem with the skylight. We need to add skylight to fix this problem. So I'll come right here and search for skylight. You can add it like this one, or you can come here to the window again and tell them to environment light mixer. Here you can create skylight. You can add all these lights from here, like directional light. You can search for directional light. You can search for sky atmosphere or fog or anything, but now we'll search for skylight, and I'll just drag and drop it right in here. Now you can see the shadows are much better. If you want a better shadows, you can just come right in here. First you'll need to enable this real-time capture, and then you will come here and change this intensity scale. I'll change it to 2 like this. Now you can see these shadows are much brighter. In this case, that's exactly what we want. So now you can see we have these, and the character is looking good as well, because now the shadows are a lot better. And if you want to change the sun, you can press left Control +L and just move around. Now you can see you can change the time, daytime, like this. I'll bring the sun this, maybe I think this is a good time, like this. Now you can see everything is working great, but we need to add a texture into the ground because this texture is not looking good. So there is some texture we have. If I come here to the assets we added in here, I'll just clear the filters for once so that we can check for the materials. If I come here to the material, you can see we have these straight materials. We have some other materials as well. If I come here, we have these materials, but I think these are not the materials we want. We actually want to use some materials from straight 01. Here you can see we have this material. I can apply this material to the ground, and now you can see we have this concrete material. That is looking good, but if I come up here, you can see that is much repeated, but we don't care about that because we'll be making our buildings around here, so that will not be too much visible, and we'll add some decals in here, so that's why that will not be too much visible. The next thing we want to do is to create some map in here and add some buildings. Well, it's very simple. If you come right here to the models in here and tell them to show all the static meshes and skeletal meshes, you can see now we have all these things, and you can just simply build the world you want. If I come right here, I'll add these things one by one so that we can understand how they look. And the other thing is, first we will organize our map a little bit. I'll select all the lighting things and add them to a new folder like this. I'll call this lights. Now you can see lights are in there, and then this is a human reference, and these are like just, this is floor. Maybe I'll add this to another folder, and I call this floor because we'll be adding some of the things like decals and things, so we'll organize all of them in floors in here. And now we can check if how we can make this world. And if I come right here, we can add these assets in here and check what are them for. So I'll add all of them into the world, and then we can check how they look like. I took all these objects out in here. Now you can see they are in the world, and that you can find what's going on in here. So these are all the objects from here. First I filtered all the models using static meshes, because all of them are static meshes, but in some cases there might be some skeletal meshes as well. So that's why I selected skeletal meshes as well, and that way I added these objects to the world. And now let's start building the world. We'll be building our world right in here, because like you can see there are only our objects. We'll be checking them and we'll see how they look. Another thing is, you can see this decal in here. If you don't know about decals are some kind of painting on top of the walls or something like that. So if you want to use the decals in your map, you can simply come here and let's find out where are the decals. So I'll just deselect this, and if I come here, there should be, you can see right here, these are the decals. You can open this one and you can use the materials, and this is the decal for the road. You can see we can apply that anywhere we want. We can apply to the ground as well, like this. Look at this, that looks just great. I'll just bring it a little more down, like this. Now you can see that's the decal. Decals are like that painting. You can see you can add all of these decals anywhere you want them. That's pretty simple like that. So this is how you can use the decals. If you want to remove them, you can just select them and remove them back like that, and there we go. Now let's start building our modular world. So it's very simple. The first thing is we will take the wall. So I'll come right here, and if I come here to the all objects here, you can see we have the bars in here, we have the buildings in here. I'll come to the buildings and I'll take the building. You can see this way we can build a world. So you can see we have this wall in here, and we can continue creating this. So it's very simple. You can see this is the corner of the wall, and we can continue. If I take this other one, you can see this is like I can continue the wall from here. I'll just take this one and I enable the snapping, and then I'll bring this side so that it should be in the same place as the other wall. So building these modular world, it just takes time and you have to be patient about it, and that's all it takes. So I'll just bring this a little this side. Now you can see we have this wall, and just by duplicating you can continue building the wall. I'll just alt and just duplicate this like this, and then select these two and alt duplicate them again. Well, not alt, like this, and bring them this side. So that way I'll select these as well, and if you need a larger wall, you can just continue duplicating them. And at the end we need this one, so we need to bring this again. So I'll just if I come here, do we have the other one as well or not? I think we don't have that, so we need to bring this one to the end like this, because this is the end of the wall. So I'll come right in here and I'll scale this, and Y I'll scale this something like -1. Now you can see it is the opposite of that wall. Now look at this, that looks great, isn't it? So this is how you can build a wall, and if you want to make it larger, you can just simply come here and select all of these assets like this. Well, in this case we have a lot of them, and then I'll just press alt and move them up like this. Now you can see this way we can build a little huge. Let's duplicate it again, and there you go. And finally I'll duplicate it one more time. So this is how you can build these walls. Now these are the corners. All of them look like just great. So the other thing is, you can come here. These are the only like one type. If you come right here, we have these apartments in here, and these are I think these are the background apartment, but still if I just bring them, no, it's not the background apartments. We'll be using this in apartment section, but for now I'll just remove them back, and then I'll come right in here. This is the view of our street like this, and then I'll come right here. There we have these big buildings. These are the backgrounds. So I'll just add some of these to the background like this, and add this one as well like that. So that should be in the background. We have one street we need to build, and then I'll come down here. We have these bars. We can add some of these bars to the street. For now I'll just remove them back, but in future we'll add them. And if I come down here, we have these buildings we have used in here. We have this building paneling. I'll just you can just take this off and check how this works actually. If if I just take it like this, you can see this just looks great, but we can use that. For now I leave it in there. You can see we have this one as well. This you can use right in here in the walls. I'll just rotate this a little bit like this, like -90. Then I'll bring this up by pressing shift with it, and then you can bring this side as well. So this is how you can just add them on top of the objects. Look at this, that is a lot better, and you can see this can be fit in here with these tools. And then the next thing we need to do is to come down here. I'll come to these cables, and let's check it out how these cables work. If I bring this these are the stairs or something like that. If I rotate this -90 degrees, yep, they look great, and you can just bring them and add them on top the objects. I thought that these are stairs, but they're not, so I'll just bring this side. We'll be using this in our construction. And then you can see we have these things. Let's bring them closer and check what are them. So you can use this as well. I'll come down here to the concrete walls. You can see here we have these concrete walls, and we'll be using these concrete walls as well. So when I just come right in here, well, let's go right in here, and then I'll rotate this 90 degrees like this, and I'll bring this right in here. So when that wall ends, we want to start this other one like this. Look at this, that is just perfect in there. If I come right here, you can see we have this other type of wall, which is kind of used for the door or something like that. If I rotate this 90 degrees as well, then I'll bring this right in here. Look at this, that is just a perfect thing in there. Then if I come right here, we have this other pillar as well, which is just amazing. I'll just bring that right in there. So I'll just duplicate this and bring this up like this, and that is looking great. I'll select this and I'll duplicate this again and press shift to bring it this other side like this, and then I'll bring this pillar right in here like you can see right here, and we need to bring this right in here. I'll just move this like this. You can see that just looks great. Just bring it a little more, and that is a lot better. We need to bring it a little forward as well, so that should match this. So I'll just bring it a little back. Now you can see that's a lot better. And then I'll duplicate this again and bring it the other side, so you can just bring it like this. Look at that, that just looks great. And then the next thing we want to do is to come down here and find some other things. You can see here we have these decals, and in material you can see these decals we can use on top of these walls to make them better. I'll just rotate this like 90 degrees, and I can rotate this 90 degrees like this as well. You can see it is like written one in there. And then you can use some other decals. Let's check what are these decals for. So it's facing down, we should make it face forward like this. So we'll rotate this 90 degrees, and then I'll just make it a little smaller. Now look at that, we have these paintings in there. And then we can come again and use some other decals as well and rotate. We'll check them first how they are, and then we can do the work. Look at this 90 degrees. I'll just bring that right in here. Look at it, that just looks great. So you can use these decals as well. I'll come right here to entrance. You can see we have this entrance, and we'll check if this entrance is correct in here or not. No, I think it's not entrance for this door. What about this one? Well, this one is also not the entrance for this one. We'll be needing this entrance right in there, so I'll rotate this 90 degrees, minus 90 degrees again, and I'll bring that right in here like that. And then I can come here, we have this other entrance. You can see, I think this is the entrance. No, these are actually the pipes. Okay, we can just use these pipes, but for now I'll just remove them. Where are the entrance actually? So if I bring this, yeah, I think we can use this as a door in here. That comes perfect in there as well, but I'll check if we have some other things for this. This one is not correct, and yeah, this looks just amazing, but I still think it's not perfect for this place. So I'll remove this back, and I'll just duplicate this like this and duplicate it again like this. Now look at this, that exactly looks like a door, but we just need to bring it a little backwards. So I'll just select them all and bring them a little backward like this. Now look at that, just looks amazing. And then we can continue with this. If it's not perfect, I'll just change the size a little bit into the sides like this. I think that's now a lot better, and that's like a door in there. And then if I come here, now we have the entrance as well. We have another entrance, and that's top entrance. So if I add this and check how this looks, so let's rotate this. I think this is not for this entrance, this might be for some other one. So for now, remove that back. And then you can come here to light props. You can see we have these light props. They're good for the roadside, so for that we need to build the road first. And here we have these pipes, and these are really important. We can use them in some places. So now you can see I'll just rotate this something like 90 degrees, and then I'll bring this a little up like this, and a little more. We'll bring something for that, like on top of the door we actually need. So I'll come here and find, we have this power box, we have power car, we have these thing as well. Well, that what is that thing we need for this top? Sky bridge, we have sky tower in here, we have tower box, and these are the walls we have in here. That let's check in these tools which thing can we use for the top of that. So these are the things like it's better you have it right in here, and that way you can just find them which you can use where. So I'll just come right in this side. What about this? I think this is a good one. Yeah, this is the one we can use. So I'll come here, press Ctrl plus B to find it out where it is. You can see it's in apartment 01. So I'll come right here back, and then I'll come right here and add this on top of this. I'll just rotate this like minus 90 degrees, and let's bring this up like this, and there we go. And then I'll bring this a little this side and a little backward like this, and then I can just duplicate that again and press shift with it to bring them together, and again and again, and you can just duplicate it one more time because it should become fit in there. So I'll just duplicate this one more time like that. So now you can see that is looking good, but as it's not perfect, that's why we have that problem with this thing. So I just need to bring it a little this side and a little this side. So using that, I think we don't need that one anymore, so I'll just remove that. Now look at this, this looks a lot better. I can just duplicate this again to this other side like this, and for this we need a little better design. So I'll just come here and find a decal for this. If I come to the decals materials, you can see we have some cool decals. If I bring this red decal, and I'll just rotate this to face forward like this, and then I'll rotate this 90 degrees like this as well. Well, now you can see it's a lot better. I'll just change the size a little bit like this. I'll bring this a little up, and then I can change the size a little more like this, and now I'll make that to cover the whole area. I'll bring this a little this side, and let's make it a little more huge and bring this side. So now you can see this is looking a lot better. Now we have the door and things in there. Now let's go and move forward after these pipes. What else do we have? If I come here, well, I think we're not using this one. Let's find out where these things are fine for now. I'll come here to power box, and we can add this power box right in here. So that can be in this side. I think I did not rotate that 90 degrees. Now it's 90 degrees. You can see it right there. And then I can just bring that right in here. Now let's duplicate this as well, like this, to bring it to the other side as well. Now look at this, we have these power boxes in there. Now let's find some others. We have power cars. Well, these are the power cars we can bring to the roads, but before that we need to create the road, so that's why it's fine for now. And then we have rooftop, we have the sidewalks. So let's create some sidewalks in here. So I'll just bring this right in here like this. So I'll just bring that a little more like this and little backward. Now you can see it should cover the whole thing. And now the next thing you want to do is to duplicate this by pressing Alt, and let's duplicate it again and one more time. Now let's select this whole thing. I think we just need to remove this last one. Let's find out if we have some other like this. You can see right here, this is a lot better. If I come close to this, that looks good. So now we need to add some other things as well. Like you can see, these are not looking good right in here, so that's why I'll come right here. And then let's find out where are that. I think in apartments, maybe like these light props, and here it is. You can see this curb strip, something like that. I'll just bring that like this. Then I can rotate that 180 degrees, and then I'll bring it right in here. Look at this, that looks perfect with this. So now I'll just duplicate this again to bring it right in here, and I'll duplicate it once more. Now look at that, that comes perfect with this. That's the benefits of using these modular assets. Now I can come right here, and then I'll select these. And then I can duplicate that, pressing shift with it, so that I can move the camera with it as well, like this. I'll duplicate that again, and now let's select all of them, and then I'll duplicate them again like this. Now look at this, that looks great or amazing, I can say. And then I'll duplicate that again and bring it this side, and let's duplicate that again, and then I'll duplicate that again. Now look at this, that looks good. I'll bring this like this, and then well, I think here we can bring the road to the doors. That's why I'll just duplicate that again, so it should not come too much, like this much I think is enough. And well, we'll be bringing this other thing as well, so I'll just remove this and this and this like that. And finally I'll just select these, and I'll duplicate them again. Well, I think these are not selected correctly like this, and then I'll bring it right in there. Now let's bring this other side as well. I'll select this one and these three as well, like this, and then now let's move this. So now you can see this is the road side. So this needs a lot of time, that's why you have to be patient, and most importantly you should give it time and just doing or repeating the same work again and again. That needs patience, that's important thing. Now I'll just bring this, duplicate it again, and then I can rotate this 90 degrees like this, 90, and then I'll bring that, oh, not like that exactly, I'll just bring this a little this side. Now look at this, that's a perfect thing. I think we don't have anything for this, but that's all right. Now I'll just duplicate that again, and let's duplicate that again, and I'll select these two or these three and duplicate them again, all of them, and let's duplicate the last one more time. That way it would be looking great. Like, look at this, that's great. But what about this place in here? That's empty, but we don't have any corner thing for this, so that's fine. I'll add this light in here as well. Now that looks a lot better. You can see this is just great, and the same thing you can do for the other side as well. I'll remove these two, and I'll bring this thing a little forward, so this should be like in here. Look at this, and here we'll have this road or something like that, and then there's this other side. So I'll just make these two roads because like that's very small. Just duplicate this 2 times like this. Now you can see that's like 2 roads in here, And then we can bring that road decal. If I come back to the decals, where are the decals? If I come here, decals and these materials, you can see this is the road decal. I'll just bring the road decal right in here. Well, not there, I'll bring it like this, and then I'll just rotate this 90 degrees. Now let's change the size of this a little bit, and only 2 axes like this, like this. Exactly, you should be really careful with these things like that. And then now let's bring it a little down, down like this, so it should be not too much visible. Now I can change this size like this. There you go. I can bring this right in here. That's too much. I'll make it a little smaller, and now let's bring it like this. Now look at that, that looks great. Here we need to create those road crosses. I'll bring this a little this side like this, and then in here I can come closer, and then if I come right here, we have this other red one. I'll bring this red one like this. Now let's bring it in here, and then it shouldn't be that huge. I'll just make it smaller and bring it like this, little forward, and let's change the size of it a little bit as well. Now look at this, it's perfect in here, or maybe I can change it a little more, but it comes on top of that. So to fix that problem, you can just simply come here and bring that a little down. So if I press G key, you can see we see that's a lot up. If I bring it down, now you can see that's a lot better. But how you can select that again to duplicate it, I'll come down here and select it like this, and now I can duplicate this one to bring it right in here. So I'll press Alt and move it like this, and now I can move it a little this side as well. Look at that, that is just great. I'll just change the size a little bit and bring it little this side. Well, that's really huge, like this. So now these are the things that you can just continue creating using your creativity, and that way that would be just amazing. You can just select this whole thing like this, and then these small ones as well. So it will take a little bit of time, but I'm gonna select them, and after selecting them, now you can press Alt and duplicate them again, bring them this side, and well, one of them are not selected, but that's fine. We will fix that problem. Now you can just rotate this 190 degrees. So I'll just rotate that like 180 degrees, actually, not 90 degrees. Come on. Now I'll just bring that right in here. Look at that, that just looks great. We have the road in here, but you can see this is this problem in here. I'll just duplicate this one to fix that area. Now look at it, that's fixed, and this is great. But you can see we need to just change the size of these decals as well. I just come down and select these 2 decals, and then I can change their size only and Y little bit, and let's bring it a little this side. Now let's change it a little more, and there you go, that's it. Where the other one go, I don't know. I think it's just come down there, but no, we don't have the other one, but that's fine. I think somehow I deleted that one, so now I can just duplicate this one as well and bring it right in here. Look at this, that's perfect. So this is how you can create the road sides, the road itself, the crosswalks, and then I can duplicate this one as well like this, and you can continue making that side as well. That's very simple. So now you can see we can come right here, and here we have these bars. I can bring this bar in on the road like this, and I can come down here. We should have some vehicle as well. If I come down here, pipes, decals, cubes, I mean cables, and then buildings. Well, we had some vehicles, I don't know where they should be. Here you can see we have power car. I can bring this power car in here and bring this other one right in here. I'm not sure what this is. I'll bring, well, this is I'll just remove that back. Now you can see we have these power cars, and they're just great. If I come here and change this a little bit like this, so that would be a lot better. Look at this. Now this area looks great, but this is empty. So now you can come here and add post process volume like this, and this is just controlling the effects of the world, but you just may have to make this unbound, just clicking this infinite extend unbound, so this should affect the whole world, not only inside the box. And then you can come here and change this exposure as well, add some depth in there. I'll add this bloom in here a little bit. You can change the intensity like too much or just make it 0. And then I'll come down. Let's come to we have exposure, so I can come directly search for exposure like this, and I can have a manual exposure. I'll come here and select manual in here, and I'll change this value something like 9 maybe. That's not too much. I need to make it a little brighter like this. 12 is a good value, so it shouldn't be too much brighter. Now that's a lot better, I think, for the road, for the vehicles, and for the streets. And you can see you can repeat this using your creativity, make these objects and this world a lot creative. But the thing is, if I come here, they have this map with it. If I come here, and here we have this maps, and open this map, this will show you what is possible with these objects. Look at this. They just created, they use these wires in here, they have these things in here. Look at this. They are using these this map. You will learn how you can create exactly the same thing. You can see how they've used these assets in the wall. You can see this is concrete wall. You can see the same wall we have used, the same wall we've used in here. You can see this is the other wall. If I come here, this is that building wall in here, and then you can come up here. You can see we have these assets in here, and those are from this sky bridge. They just made this beautiful, amazing sky bridge, but it does not have any way to go up and down. And then you can come down using yeah, this is the thing we removed back. You can see this is the vehicle for powering up this robot or something like that. And you can see these decals are there. They've used these decals in here, and these decals are looking great. And the vehicles are there. They've used the same decals in here as well, the same decals for these roads as well. And these are the lights of the road. And you can come down here. You can see this, some of the bars are in here as well. And then I'll just come out of here. You can see these doors can be opened or closed. If I come right here, you can see just bring it up or down, so you can change them, or you can change the size as well, but size will not come good. So that's why if you want to use this in games or something, it's closed, and if the character comes in here, it presses a key like that, then it should come up. But if it comes up, it is visible. You can see it right here. So that's why you can use something right in here that should be hidden. In upcoming lectures, I'll show you when we are making a game in here. When character comes in here, we'll add something in here to be hidden in there. Now you can see I'll bring this down, so now this is like not completely closed. And then the other things are they've used some of these lights. If I come here and select this one, actually this light I want to select, this light is with this building. I think if I come here, you can see, yeah, it is with this building. You might be thinking how they created this light. If I come here to these materials, they've used this emissive color. So if you want to change that emissive color from here, this is how they've used the emissive color. If you want to change that light to affect the world, so you can come here and multiply that. If you search for multiply node in here, multiply like this, and then you can just multiply it by any value, not in normal. So I'll just multiply that in emissive color, and then I'll come here and change it to something like 5. Now you can see that would be 5 times brighter than it was before. I'll just bring this, and bring this one as well, so that everything should be visible. Now look at this, it's a lot brighter now. It's a lot brighter. So you can just multiply this emissive. Using this emissive node is really powerful. So let's change it to something like maybe 30, so that way you can say it very well. If I come back, now you can see this is too much brighter, and we have the bloom. Look at this, it even affects this world, like this whole thing is red because of that light. This is the global illumination, which reflects the light. If I come back right in here, I'll change this to something. I'll just remove this back because the default values are good for now. So I just wanted to show you how you can change these textures, these materials, and the light. Now you can see there's a lot better. And you can see these are decals as well. These are the decals I've told you. If I come here, you can see we have these decals, and you can add more decals as well. You can customize this world actually if you want to. Now you can see this world is smaller. If you want to make it a little huge, like you can come right in here and just duplicate this area like this, just pressing Alt, and just bring this side like this. And now you can see this is great. And this sky bridge are already in there, which is actually visible from here. Those are looking great, like the sky bridge. If you come even here or there, they are visible. So if you want to open these doors, then you can just simply come here. I'll just bring this a little up like this, or maybe both of them. So we will talk about how you can open these doors at runtime. Now you can see those doors are opened. Now if a character is in there, he can come out of here just by coming in here. But you can see there are the problems. These sky bridges are in the sky, like I mean they're really are in the sky, so they shouldn't be like that. And we do not have anything in here. So first of all, if I come here and check the other sky bridge, that's also out of the reach, like in the sky. So sky bridges are fine, they should be in the sky, but at least they should be like attached to the world. So if I come right here and select all of these, like yeah, now you can press Alt and just duplicate this. I can see this is like we just brought them to the ground, and this one is in the ground as well. How did that come to the ground? I'm not sure. I'll just duplicate this like this. Now you can see that's a lot better. And now I'll just come to the other side as well. This shouldn't be in the sky as well. You can just select this one and this one and just duplicate this and bring this down here like this. You can see these are the benefits of using these modular contents. You can customize them like you want. Now you can see we need some other walls in here, so you can just duplicate this, like I'll just select this and this, and you can see these they've used these 5 things in there. You can select them as well, but for now I'll just select these contents, and then I can duplicate this like this. I can see we have wall, and then I can duplicate again. Now you can see we have the wall in there, and then you can come here to bring this side roads in here as well. So you can just come right in here. Let's select some of these. You can see I'll just come here and select them like this. It's pretty simple, you know how to do that. And then I'll just duplicate them like this and bring them to the other side, and let's continue doing our work. And now you can just duplicate these as well. I'll just select them, and then I'll just bring them right in here. So this is this needs to be a little more work. You can just come right here. Where are we actually? Here we are, and then I'll just duplicate these again. So these are just the work of duplicate again and again and again and again, and this needs your creativity and how you could just to be more creative and create it a lot better. So I'll just bring this like this, and you can see you can just bring them to that side as well, because the road would continue that way. So then I'll come right here and I'll select this light, and now let's duplicate that one as well and press shift to bring the camera with it like this. Now you can see that's a lot better, and you need to just duplicate these 3 as well. Actually maybe 3 would be enough, and bring it like this. Now you can rotate that 90 degrees like this, and I can bring them right in here. That's perfect in there actually. That's great. And the same thing you can do for the other side of the road as well. You can just come here and copy some of these already created buildings. You can reuse them, which is great. That's the benefit. You can just reuse them. You can just edit them a little bit, and the good thing is you can see the same things can be used for multiple purposes. You can see this is this building. If I come right here, it's in this sky tower. they've used this right in here. They've used those in the sky towers right in here, and maybe in many other places as well. So it is like they're giving you the raw material, and you can create whatever you want from these things. That is kind of great. So I'll not continue to this lecture anymore, because you can just copy and paste some of these materials, some of their structures, and edit them to make these structures as you wish or as you want them. Now you know how you can use these modular assets. All you need is the creativity, time, and patience. That's all you need. And when you have them, and you have these modular assets as well, you know how to duplicate them, you know how to reuse them in multiple different places. So this is all about this video. This was just about how you can use this modular assets. I mean, how you can reuse them again and again in multiple places and build your own structures from these assets, which is kind of great. In next video, I'll add a character in here, a shooter character in here, and that can move around and shoot things, and maybe we'll have some bars and things as well. So that's all about this one. I hope I'll see you in the next video.